plaintiff, Jody Austin, says he and the defendant are both farmers in Wisconsin. Jody says he often sold bales of hay to the defendant, who's a dairy farmer. And initially, they had no problems. However, after the defendant lost his job, he stopped paying for the hay. So Jody's suing. Defendant Chadwick Kettler says he buys hay from Jody to feed his dairy cows, and everything was good with their working relationship in the beginning. However, Jody sold him defective hay that wasn't sealed properly, and it negatively affected Chadwick's cows, so he refuses to pay.
All right, tell me what happened.
Well, Your Honor, I just want to say it's just an honor to be here first in front of you and Doyle. It's great.
Thank you.
Chad and I are just a couple farmers from northern Wisconsin. You know, up there, we don't hardly have reception. I mean, it's, cell phone reception. And,
really?
Yeah, every day. I mean, I'm swearing at my phone and it's not, it doesn't have reception. But you know what? The Judge Mathis show comes on every day without any interruption.
Without any interruption. That's something. See?
When you
told y'all I got the Lord on my side. Oh, yeah.
You got a huge following of farmers up there that love watching your show.
Really? Good enough.
Yeah, so anyhow, but...
where do you know your friend from?
Chad's a dairy farmer, and I'm a cash crop farmer. I make hay and raise hay for selling to dairy farms and so forth. And, we're the guys that make Wisconsin known as the cheeseheads, Packers, beer, and cheese, is what we're known for. So, I grew up on a dairy farm, born and raised, and, I went to college, did the 9-to-5 thing, and, it just wasn't for me. So I went back to farming, and Mr. Kettler contacted me in the fall, and 4 times we had I delivered hay to Mr. Kettler.
Beginning when?
Beginning in December 1st, 2009.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's the first time you all did business?
Yes.
All right. And what was that business?
That was some baleage, 20 bales of 20 bales of hay.
You were paid? Yes, all right. Next time you did business?
Next time it was on January 2nd.
Next time?
Next time was February.
No problem?
No problem.
Next time?
March 20th, Your Honor.
Next?
Yeah, and the next time would have been in...
this problem?
Yes, this would be this problem.
When?
This was April 4th.
All right. Let me hear from you regarding any background you want to give me, and then I'll let him tell me what went wrong in April.
First of all, Your Honor, it's a privilege also to be here. There's a better way to get us country boys out of the farm, though, to the big city.
What do you all do for fun?
We come to the Judge Mathis show.
Listen to you. Go ahead.
But first of all, it started out good with Jody, and I was content with the product that Mr. Austin had said and sent to us. And then at that time, it was getting towards the spring, and he had made an opportunity. Well, he ended up bringing 2 loads, almost like back to back. And we, at that point, in which I do have pictures of some baleage and stuff like that, so you can see that, Your Honor. This is what a baleage bale looks like, closed and open.
This one's wrapped and this one's open.
It looks like weed. Y'all, I can't deal with this, sir. Oh, that's some weed. I had one of my little mentees in here. He can tell me, I bet you. Him and his buddies. Corey, is this weed or what? Take that over there. That looks like weed to me, man. What is this? That's weed? Yeah, I thought that was weed, man. That's weed, man. All right, I'll figure out what it is by the end of this case. We're going to see what happened, and then I'll be able to determine what that is. Why are you suing him today?
Well, anyhow, Your Honor, in my dealings with Chad, I found him to be honest in dealing with him the four times and so forth. And in dealing, transactions, we became to know each other a little bit. And Mr. Kettler confided, that he had, lost his job, and income was a little bit tighter.
So you were giving him a break?
Yes, I was giving him a break, Your Honor.
So what's in dispute?
He has not paid for the total hay.
How much was the total cost?
$2,870, and then plus interest.
And he has not paid anything?
Correct.
Sir?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. And Jody kind of cut corners on some of his baleage, in which if you see where you've seen where that was wrapped, if you put less plastic on the bales, it don't seal properly, in which then some of it gets moldy. And which then what it was in that last load, as it got towards spring, there was able to create more air in there, and it got warmer, and then it created a moldy bale. I tested the feed, in which Jody had told me what I was going to get was at least 140 relative feed value, and his feed tested only 112.
I don't know what that means in practical terms. What was the result? You gave it to your cattle, and they never produced milk?
They don't produce as much milk. You get cases of diarrhea.
Weed then, sir.
Yep.
This is definitely weed. A weed head, that's what they don't produce.
Yeah.
You get half the work. You get half the work out of it. Go ahead. All right. I'm trying to listen to you, but I'm telling you what I see. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. But the hay didn't test as well, and in return, you have to feed the cows additional supplement. You have to buy additional proteins and production. And
munchies, you got to.
Yeah, they got the munchies. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I can show the difference as far as when I was feeding his hay and then when I got some good hay.
Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
You said it had a certain effect on your cattle.
Yes.
And you could show me.
Yep.
What is it you're going to show me?
As far as right here, we have an official DHI test sheet in which it tells how much the cows give per cow.
Uh-huh.
And if you see that on the bottom, earlier, the lower amount per
as
cow.
of April 10th, right?
Yep.
Okay. What am I supposed to see?
Well, on the one, you'll see when I was feeding the lower quality hay, as far as the cows were only producing.
All of it was lower quality after April 10th, right?
Yep.
All right. You've shown me a form here that says on 12/18/09, you were getting 112. Then you showed me a form that says on June 10 of 10, you got more.
Right, because that's my hay.
Are either of the two his hay?
Yes, the 112.
Which one? The 112,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And that was used in 12 of 09.
That was used throughout. That was the quality that he
No,
was
you
producing.
received it 12 of 09
Yes.
on here.
Yeah, and that's
But
the
we're
kind of hay
discussing hay that was received 4 of 10.
But he'll tell you the first load.
No. I need you to explain.
Okay.
Why? You've given me something
Yes, sir.
that says 12/18 of 09, and you said this is the hay we're discussing, right?
Yes, sir.
But he didn't give you the hay until April of 10.
He started delivering hay back in November.
No, but we're talking about the hay in April of 2010.
I didn't retest that
You didn't retest it.
No.
So you don't have the evidence that shows the April hay was different.
It was just out of the
Do
same
you
field.
have the
No,
evidence?
I don't have anything.
But you
Your
have
Honor.
evidence from the other months.
Yes.
All right. Lack of evidence. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.